Welcome back viewers. Now in this second session of the video tutorial on SPSS, we will discuss how to conduct data analysis and SPS, interpretation of data, reporting, and exploring relationship between variables, how to import data from Excel, variable types, variable field type and SPSS, summarizing variables, interpretation and reporting, and exploring relationships between variable and SPSS. First of all, I would like to share with you types of variables which you might already know, but before doing analysis and SPSS, you must understand these variables which will help you to analyze your data easily in SPSS. The first one is categorical, or we can say qualitative or grouping variables. So this is the first type of the variable. Categorical, qualitative or grouping variable like sex, male, female. So these are categorical, there are categories. These are qualitative, these are words, and these are grouping variable. You have grouped different people with different gender. Like education, the level of education, primary, middle, higher secondary, university level, master, MPhil, PhD. So these are also grouping and categorical. Race and nationality. Types of variables are categorical variable, which are also called qualitative and grouping variables. Now the next type is continuous quantitative variable. They are called continuous or quantitative variable. Like income. Income is a continuous number which can be of any number. Age, which might from 0 to 100 and 120. Distance between two places, so that is also a number. Salary, that is also a number. So these type of variable are continuous and quantitative variable. Now you must remember these two types, categorical and continuous, or you can say qualitative and quantitative. So these one are categorical and these are the continuous, which has a number. Now in SPSS, when you are developing data structure for your data, so the field type in SPSS, there are three field types. Number one is scale. Variable which are continuous, quantitative, which are scale variables, numeric like age, money, distance, etc. As we discussed, the continuous variable. So the field type for such variable is scale variable. Then the next type is ordinal. Variable which are categorical, qualitative, and are ranked or ordered. Those variable which are categorical or quantitative but are ranked or ordered. Use words to measure quantity or level. For example, satisfaction level. Are you satisfied? They may say satisfied or somewhat satisfied or very much satisfied. So there are levels, the satisfaction levels. So such type of variables are then ordinal. Or we can say education level, level of agreement, etc., or level of competence, etc. These types of variables are ordinal. And the third is nominal, variable which are categorical but not ranked or ordered, like gender. You cannot say that male. So such type of variables are. So basically all continuous and quantitative variables are scale variables, while the categorical and quantitative variable either might be ordinal if there is a rank, if there is a measurement level, and if there is no measurement level, then they would be nominal. For example, let's see an SPSS. Here you can see when I type any column head, so here you can see the measure scale, ordinal, nominal. Scale, any sort of number like money, age, etc. So those would come under scale. Ordinal, for example, if we have here satisfaction level. So when you are talking about satisfaction level, so that would be ordinal. And you will see now when we will be analyzing our data with a detailed file, with a complete file, so you will see that ordinal. Now satisfaction level is ordinal. Now for example, if there is age, so age is also a number. Age is a number, as we discussed that age is a continuous variable. Age, money, distance, so that is scale. It would be scale. Now for example, here we talked about satisfaction nominal. For example, gender. So gender is nominal. There are no measurement level. So we can say nominal. So these type of measure you must know. And in my previous session, I have already explained these variable view and how to develop database. If you haven't watched that, so the link is given in the description. So we have here in the SPSS this data view and variable view. Now if you want to enter your data and develop a database here, so this is the place where you are going to assign field name. These are the column names, and these are the types and width and decimals and values, etc., that you can add here. And here you will see then your database ID, satisfaction level, age and gender. That is what we developed here. So you can see that if you have already a database in Excel and you want to import that, so the simple way is go to file, here import data, Excel, select Excel. If your file is Excel file, go to the folder where you have kept that file. For example, this is my file, working file. Okay, open. Now this is, now here I have different worksheets in that file. So which worksheet I want? For example, I want this nutrition data worksheet. Now it's fine. You can see the headers are already assigned and I can just say okay. Now here I have there in Excel, I already entered the data, so all the data is also important and it has already assigned column headings. Now let's see in the variable view and adjust our column headings. Variable view. Case ID. Case ID is numeric. It's a number. Okay. When it's a number, so should be the field type in the measure, it should be scale. But this case ID is not a number which I am going to analyze. It's just a replacement of a name. I am not using names, I am using ID. So that's why I have used a numeric. So basically it's not a scale because I'm not analyzing this one. It's just a name. So I can keep it nominal. Now here the next field type is HH monthly income, the monthly income of the household. So income, as we discussed, income is basically money. Money is basically a scale variable, a continuous one, a quantitative. So we will assign that a scale. So it's already a scale. The species is already assigned at scale level. Parents education. So it's a about education and the field type is string because it's not a number, it's primary, etc. So and here you see the measure field type is nominal. No, it should be ordinal because it's parents education. So it's about the education level, the level of education. So that should also be in ordinal. Now the next one is child birth weight. Now weight is a number, so it should be numeric and it would also be a scale because it's a number. It can be of any number. Sex of child, it's about the gender. So this is string because there would be a text, and it's nominal because male female gender is a nominal field type. Now child age in months. Now months is also a number, so that would also be a scale variable. Now you can see we have this information, and from here you can design your own database also. Field type is simply either your field type would be numeric, or it would be a date, or if it is currency, so dollar, or it should be a string, a text characters with any sort of information. Here the width you can just keep it as it is also, but if you want to increase or decrease, so you can decrease. And here you can see the label. So here you can add proper label for your field type because here you cannot use spaces. So here you can add a proper label so that when the someone is doing the entries, so he she would see the proper name. HH monthly income. So here we can say monthly income of the head of household. Here we can say education of the parent, the weight of the child, sex of the child. All details you can add here in values. These are those type of assigning numbers or drop downs. For example, here we have this sex of child. So here we can assign values. For in the child birth weight, we cannot assign value because that can be of any number. Parent education. Yes, here we can assign values or drop down and assign that with the values. And here in the sex also, child age in months, no. For ordinal and nominal variable, you can assign these value while for scale variable you cannot, because that can be of any number. So let's assign, for example, HH parents education. So here we can assign values. Number 1 is equal to primary, add 2 is equal to, here you can add bachelor, any types of level that you have decided, so you can add those. Okay, so now here you will see all these options would be available to you when you will be doing the data entry. In the sex of child also we can add, so here we can add 1 is male, 2 is female. Child age in months, this is a continuous variable, so we cannot add that. Now let's see in the data view. Here in the data view, all those fields where you have assigned values, so first you need to click this value label so that those are visible to you. Here you can see now there is a drop down male female. Here you will see there would be a drop down primary SSC. So you can assign such type of field. Now let's start our analysis. Now the first thing that we can do in SPSS is summarizing variable, categorical variable and continuous variable. So we have both categorical and continuous variable. Now we will be conducting analysis of categorical variable and then continuous variable, and I will explain how you can analyze both these two types of variable. So let's first go to analyze. Here descriptive statistics. So as I told you that the first thing that you must understand in SPSS is summarizing variable is by frequencies. So categorical variable are done by frequencies. So go to analyze, descriptive analysis, frequencies. Now here I will drag here those variable which are categorical and I want to analyze the frequencies. For example, parent education is a variable like that. Then sex of the child is also a variable like that. So I can bring on all those variable here, and I will go to statistics. If I want that I should have the mean, medium, quartile, so I can check all those which I want from here and continue. Now here I will go to the charts. In the charts, if you want bar charts, pie chart, histogram types, so you can select from the here. Now when your variable are categorical like parent education, gender, etc., so you should click this display frequency table. But if your variable are continuous, so you should not click this display frequency table, because that will give you all the data that is available with each number. So let's first see these categorical variable. Okay, now here is the output window. Sorry, we did one mistake. I forgot that both of our parent education and sex of child are strings, so histogram cannot be assigned to that. But if you remember, we have already assigned field types, this parent education, so we have already assigned numbers 1 2 3. So you can change this to numeric, the field type, because we are doing it with numbers, not with base practical values. So we can change this to numeric also, but let's first see the analysis. So here you can see parent education. There are 413 responses, and for the sex of child also, and there are no missing values. First statistic is that. Now let's see parents education. In parent education, you can see here none. Those who have no education, that is the percentage, the frequency 47, and it's basically 11%. And valid percentage is also the same. But what is the difference between percent and valid percent? The percent is the percentage of the frequency against the all, against overall sample, and valid percent is the percentage of the frequencies against those who have responded. So if there is missing value, so this valid percentage would be different then. So always use this valid percentage for your data, because it will not consider those value which are missing. Now here you can see there are 39% primary education, 37% secondary, and 11% tertiary educations, etc. So, and here we can see that female percentage is 47 and male is 52%. So this is the basic table for frequencies. Now, how to interpret this data? So the simple way is, in the data interpretation, one is narration for frequencies. So you can say the sample consisted of total of this number of respondent, where this number, and in the bracket you can use percentage is male and this percent is female. Now you can use here a table. So here you can do right click, copy, and you can paste here that table regarding your data. You can adjust this table, the headers, etc. And now here you can interpret that 11% of the respondent have no education, 39% have primary education, 37% have secondary education. And in this way, you can interpret all your data in the narration. Then you give a table, and then here you can give a chart also. Now here we have the bar chart for education. You can see. So just click, copy, and paste it in the report. And then above here you can interpret your data, and you narrate all the percentages against primary, secondary, and tertiary education. Then at the end you can say that most of the respondent education is primary, which is this percentage, and the lowest one is. You can compare all these percentages then in the interpretation also. First you define, first you narrate all the frequencies and the percentages, and then you can say which one is the highest and which one is the lowest, and all those trends which you can understand from your data, you can interpret that and narrate that in your report. Now let's analyze those tables. Go to descriptive frequencies. Let's reset this one. Now let's analyze monthly income, and then we can say child birth weight and child age in month. But here you should never click this display frequency table, because it will give you all the tables, give you the list of all the responses. Here what you can do, go to statistics, and you can obtain mean, median, standard deviation, variance, minimum, maximum, etc. So all these you can obtain from here. Okay, and here also you can go with the histogram just to show you the curve, etc. Go okay. Now below here you can see the frequency statistics. Now here in the monthly income, child birth weight, and child age in months, all these three variables we selected. So here we have the mean, median, standard deviation, etc., variance, minimum, maximum, percentiles, etc. Now here you can interpret this data that the mean monthly income of the household is 203, and the standard deviation is 104, which means that the deviation from this mean is 104. And here you can say the minimum income is 70 and the maximum is 490. So you can interpret these statistics. In the child birth weight, you can say that the mean child birth weight is 2.8 kilogram, where we can see that the standard deviation is 0.39, which is almost 0.4 from the mean. And here the minimum weight is 1.84 and the maximum is 3.59 kilogram, etc. And in the child uh, age in months, you can see all these mean, median, and here you can see the curves in the histogram on the monthly income. So here you can see that most of the monthly income is here in the under the 100, and here you can see all the details. And similarly you can see the child birth weight also, where maximum number is here. You can see 3, and these are the lower level and the highest level. These are just analysis and descriptive statistic, frequencies, etc. Now there are other types of analysis which are very important here. For example, if you want to know that is there a child birth weight and child age in months, these two variables, you want to see the relationship between these two variables. So when you want to see the relationship between two variables, which where both are scale variables, here you can see, and those are continuous variable, so that we can do with correlation. So let's see analyze, and here you can see correlate. Correlate, bivariate. Bivariate means two variables. Click. Now here I can bring on those two variables, child birth weight and child age in, and just click OK. Now here we have this correlation. Child birth weight, these are the values, and basically these are the values. Child birth weight here and child age in months here. So these are the, this is the correlation. Now here in the correlation, you should remember that, so you can see here it's basically the correlation here from -1, 0, and then 1. So if your correlation is here, you can see 0.003. Now if the difference is positive value, means increase in one variable is associated with an increase in the other variable. If the difference is positive values, here you can see we have positive values, no negative values. So if this difference is positive value, means increase in one variable is associated with an increase in the other. And if the difference is negative, so it means increase in one variable is associated with the decrease in the other variable. But here you can see it's minimum 0.003, and this two-tailed is also 0.955. So we can't see any association. Now when the values are here or on this side, so then there correlation and there might be some association. For example, see, we did this with child birth weight and child age in months, but I did this although we know that there is no relation between the child birth weight and age in months, but I just did this to show you this example, and now you will see another example. Let me go again to correlate, bivariate. Let's reset this one. Now let's see monthly income of the household and child birth weight. If there is some association of monthly income of the household and the child birth weight, so let's see these two now. Here you can see now the it's 0.193, and here also 0.193, and here you see correlation is significant at the 0.01 level to 10. There is a correlation because it's closer to the, and here this two-tailed, the p-value is also 0.000, which shows a significant correlation. Now let's do the relationship between variables. We can do that with the CrossTab also. Here in the descriptive you can see CrossTabs. CrossTab, for example, if I want to see uh, gender of the respondent and level of education. So gender of the respondent is only two category, while level of education are almost five categories. So in the rows, we should bring that variable which has most of the categories. So we will bring that to here and six of respondent to the columns. Now this will give me this information. Let's see. Here you can see there is a one table cross tabulated. Level of education, here is level of education, and here you can see male, female, and respondent. So you can see no education, 15 male and 1 female. There you can see all these details, but here we don't see any percentages. So you can go to the analysis again. You can go and from there cross tab in the cells, and from here you can say by columns, give me the percentage by columns. Now you can see by columns. So 6.3% of the total female have no education, while out of the total male, only 3.2% have no education. So mostly on the female side, no education is the highest. And you can see here, primary education is mostly associated with female, 66.8%, and secondary education, and here you can see in the tertiary, 3.2% is male and 0.8% is female. So you can correlate all these different types of variables in your data. So while doing analysis, you can use these descriptive statistics frequencies just for simple tables, just to analyze the responses, and CrossTab for comparing two variables. You can see here some other options, compare means. For example, if you want to compare means of the uh, age of the respondent and sex of the respondent, sex and age. So basically there are two options, dependent list and dependent list. And that you should remember that when it's a scale variable, so that goes into the dependent list, and when it's ordinal or nominal, so that goes into the independent list. Now here you can see that age of the respondent, there is a mistake on our data. We have used the ordinal, but here in the age of the respondent, here we have used nominal, but it's basically scale because age can be of any number. So let's go again now. Compare means. So here now, age of the respondent, as I told you that in the dependent list you should bring in the scale variable and the other variable into the depend and independent list. For example, that was age. Now let's bring it here, sex. So let's see to compare the means of the age and sex of education. And here in the options, we have mean, number of cases, standard deviation. You can add some other also. Okay. So now here you can see the mean, age of the respondent and sex of the respondent. So basically what we are seeing here, the age of the mean age of the female is 31.18, while the mean age of the male is 36.48. And this is the standard deviation also. Standard deviation on the female side and standard deviation on the male side, and this is the total standard deviation. So you can see, compare these means also. So basically this was some more about the SPSS, and I will make some more sessions also on the analysis and will upload soon. If you visit my channel, if you want to learn Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Access, MS Word and Mail Merge, then other tricks of the Microsoft Excel and other softwares, these other playlist of learning online data collection, KOBO, MS Form, Google Form for collecting online data, data analytics, project management series is there is a playlist for MS Excel, beginners also, Windows, and all these playlists, single playlists are also available. So you can benefit from all these sessions which are free of cost, and you just open it and watch them and learn and improve your productivity. There are these beautifully designed PowerPoint presentations, how to make these PowerPoint presentation, and every video has a detailed step-by-step tutorial. So visit my channel, subscribe, like and share and comment, learn and improve your product. Thank you.